WVEC-TV, Hampton.
And here we go.
This is Jim Kincaid, ABC News.
Oh, hi, Joe Flanagan here, all dressed up with somewhere to go, and guess what? You're going with me. Now, normally you see me put on the tuxedo for our hidden hotspots on 13 News Daybreak, but tonight, the hottest spot, the hottest ticket, the hottest show in town is right here at Chrysler Hall. Lion King's in town. That's right, Lion King sold out for 8 straight years on Broadway.
1 minute, Mr. Flanagan.
Now, in the next half hour, you have a backstage pass to go behind the scenes of Lion King with me. We're going to meet the wardrobe supervisor, we'll meet stage managers, even some puppeteers. You'll also meet some of the actors and actresses who bring the roles of Nala, Mufasa, Scar, and Simba to life and do it flawlessly. Plus, we'll meet some local folks and see why they have a vested interest in this production, including one Virginia Beach physical therapist who has a very interesting Lion King connection.
30 seconds, Mr. Flanagan.
Oh, by the way, this is the green room here at Chrysler Hall. Really nice, isn't it? And it's probably a room most of you have never seen before. Over the years in here, we've interviewed the likes of Valerie Harper and Tony Tennille and Joanne Folletta and Angelina Jolie. Well, maybe not Angelina Jolie, wishful thinking.
Showtime, Mr. Flanagan.
Oh, it's showtime, folks.
It's Lion King, and just like the majestic creature who lives in the wild, so too the show leaves a lasting impression on people, all people.
Really, the music is what gets me, because as SJ stated, he's standing behind the scenes singing Shadowland, like I'm standing behind the scenes singing the entire show, because it's that moving to me.
It leaves an impression on the performers.
It's so spectacular. The music, along with the costumes, along with the set, the lighting, it takes you in to this world, and you don't know what to do. All you can do is cheer, because it's so exciting. I know most of the cast members felt the same way when they saw it for the first time.
And it leaves a lasting impression on the audience, too.
You gotta come see it. I mean, it's amazing. It's the best theatrical performance I've ever seen in my life.
So I've seen a couple of Broadway shows, but this is the best theatrical performance with the animals and just the dynamics of the Disney production that they have. It's pretty awesome. It's one in a lifetime type of thing, a live event that you'll see.
To give you some idea of what goes on in the background of this spectacular stage presentation, we went behind the scenes with Fred Klaesner, who's the production stage manager of Lion King.
I don't do any of the business operations. We have another manager for that.
I'm glad for that. But I do really enjoy seeing the audience and their reactions, and it always reminds you why it is we actually do what we do.
The show looks like this to you and me in the audience, but backstage there are 4 stage managers running things.
There's a stage manager stage left, a stage manager stage right, and there's one who calls the show, that's calling all the light cues, flipping all the switches to let everybody know when they should execute computer cues, fly cues, and all that. That person sits right up here in something that's hanging that we call the perch. There's 6 TV monitors up there, one of them being infrared, so that we can see in a blackout. These pieces are flown in, they go out, and they play on stage, they come back, and they go right back up in the air. And the choreography of all of that off stage is just as important as what's going on stage, so that people know where they can walk, when they can walk, etc.
Pride Rock is the biggest set piece, and it looks huge on stage. We found out there's some engineering magic in all this, too.
There is a motor in the tail section and a motor in the head. So 2 things, it can come on leading with the tail, it can come on leading with the head, but the best thing is that it can do what its position is right now, is it could collapse on itself like nesting tables here off stage, so it doesn't take up so much room.
Fred showed me rails in the floor that Pride Rock travels on, both coming and going off stage.
Move these flippers, which are not also unlike a toy train. So right now, this is set to go in a circle. If this flipper were down, it would come out and it would head into the circle. So that's one of the things the computer does.
Lion King demands a lot of room backstage, with sets flying in and out from above and pieces like Pride Rock moving around. Chrysler Hall can handle it all.
These I think are kind of cool, that hold the cheetah and the 2 zebras, because they just lower them. They take the cheetah off and then they literally lower the zebra right onto the actor.
It's all this behind the scenes that enhances what makes Lion King so special.
It was a movie. That's the fun for me as a director. This was a movie, and now I have to figure out how to take a movie and put it into a proscenium stage. Well, one thing that I knew right off the bat was I wasn't going to stay on that stage. The opening of The Lion King, you fill the house. It's 360 degrees plus in all directions. The sound, the animals coming down the aisles. TV is 2-dimensional, flat. We have to do what theater does best. So that's what the theater can do. The theater can surprise you by surrounding you.
In your reflection, they live in you.
Thomas Corey Robinson takes on the role of Mufasa, little Simba's daddy. His deep voice, both singing and speaking, only enhances the quality of this Lion King's cast.
It's such a talented group of people, and the message is so spiritual and so universal. You know, finding your place in the world, taking care of family, taking care of community. There are themes running to it that no matter who you are and what you are, you can relate to it.
As one of the leads, Thomas has to wear a giant mask and incorporate it into his every move. How do they do that?
And here we have Mufasa. He is Simba's father, and he's used in the first act. And this is made out of carbon fiber too. There's a burnt peacock feather here. This is balsam wood, a little foam. And it's attached to a helmet that he wears on top of his head, and it sits like this.
This Lion King is an amazing combination of puppetry and live actors. Willie Wilson is the puppet supervisor and showed us how some of the masks and other exotic outfits fit.
This is called mechanical mask. And what it does is allow it to go forward. We can cover his face with it, bring it back, lift it up in the air.
The material is lightweight carbon fiber that is also used to make high-speed NASCARs. But when you add the cables and power pack that the actors have to wear, it's around 15 extra pounds.
A control cable that he wears on his finger, and it goes down his sleeve of his arm of his costume. And so he's controlling the whole movement of the mask.
It was a challenge to come up with such creative ways to make all this happen. And it was a challenge for the dancers who had to perform with these kinds of things on their heads.
And here we suddenly had headpieces that added 3 feet to the dancers. So when you move your head and you're accustomed to do that, suddenly you have 3 more feet. You have to move it in a different way and support the head in a different way. And when you do this and then suddenly it goes there, it's entirely different line. So the extension has to get higher.
Joe's job was trying to figure all this out and still move.
Oh, I like that.
Then we crank it.
Fits all sizes.
To make it nice and tight for you. Tell me when it's tight.
There you go. That's
there you go. And then we have 2 arms that go with this.
How?
Oh, sorry. Right here. Handle.
Oh, okay. You hold it here.
Mm-hmm.
Hold it here.
And now, the movement you want to do, okay, you won't go too far back because you might slip off. You want to do the hands up. One,
okay. And should my head be going with them?
back and forth, yeah. There you go.
The more time we spent with Willie Wilson, the more fun we had. And we learned he had a grandmother who used to live in Norfolk. So he can't wait to spend some time in Hampton Roads.
So this is Zazu. This is Zazu. He's probably about 30 pounds, and I've been controlling him for about 2 years now in the role, and 6 months before that as understudy. So.
Oh, and we couldn't go without showing you one last puppet actor combination. Mark Cameron is hilarious as Zazu.
I, madam, am the major domo.
And does your head do? I noticed.
Yeah, I basically follow the whole action. If I give it a shake, I give my head a shake. Every time I do that.
And is that good?
The look of surprise.
Just another element in the surprises that make up this Lion King production.
There's such demand for tickets and such demand to see it. Everybody can't come to New York and see it. So for us, to be in Denver, to be in Dallas, to be traveling around the country, and people come to see us, that's why we do it. You make theater so people will join with you for that live experience. And we can have them come to New York, and we can go right out and see them on the road.
Our behind-the-scenes look at Lion King continues. Coming up, we'll take you to the wardrobe bunkers. Stick around.
When Lion King debuted on Broadway in 1998, it won 8 Tony Awards. Best Musical, Best Director of a Musical, Best Choreography, Best Scenic Design, Best Costume Design, and Best Lighting Design. It is being enjoyed by audiences all over the world, and Hampton Roads gets its chance now.
When you watch that stage come to life, you know, whether we're hearing it in Japanese, or whether we're hearing it in German, or whether we're hearing it in English, when Rafiki calls out, and there's that convocation that calls the animals onto the stage, and the animals from the wings, and the audience sees Pride Rock come on, and the circle of life come to life in front of them. That theater magic is everything I dreamt it would be.
The colors, the styles, the unique quality of the costuming in Lion King comes under the close scrutiny of Keith Coltis, wardrobe supervisor. In working with the actors and actresses, Keith has been impressed with their attitudes and professionalism.
A couple of our guys have been opera singers, and to tell them that you're going to be the front end of the rhino is far different than standing on stage in a doublet singing, you know, O Solo Mio. It's a challenge, and everybody rises to that challenge and works together to make it happen.
When a show hits the road, they carry wardrobe folks with them, and they hire people in each city to stitch and repair. In this case, there are 16 dressers and 1 person for the laundry room.
We spend a lot of time and effort. We spend 2 people spend a minimum of 4 hours a day stitching and repair work. I've got an assistant who's in charge of the repair room to make sure all that happens. I've got another assistant who is in charge of the laundry room and keeping all the laundry clean and keeping all that stocked up. And usually we've done the troubleshooting before the curtain goes up.
It is amazing to get the behind-the-scenes tour in the wardrobe department.
I think at one point they wanted to be woven real grass, not practical for the road, but silk grass, frayed hemp rope, and then the skirt is indeed hemp rope with more rope fringe.
Mm-hmm. And men and women wear these.
Men and women. We call it the deconstructed contrast.
Keith walked us through the variety of materials such as raw silk and fine silk and hand-printed silk and black velvet.
One of the girls has 10 costumes that she's in and out of 14 times. But most people have an average of 6. I think some of the male singers may have only 5. But that's a lot of clothes to be wearing in 2 hours.
The cast members really are impressed, and as we found out, so are some of their parents, too.
My father, who came and saw the show, said, you know, my father, who always says, "Oh, I cry at hockey games," so he's got a big heart. But he said that he was crying in the first 4 minutes of the show. Yeah, and I think that's a typical kind of reaction, and which is a wonderful, joyous feeling. And so I say that the play comes with so much joy, and you take so much of it with you when you go home, and I think that's a unique kind of experience.
Another unique experience is watching and listening to Adrienne Moeller. She plays Nala and has been doing the role for about 1.5 years now.
The leaves have fallen. This shadowed land.
The role itself is amazing to me because she's such a strong character. And I consider myself a strong female, so I like to bring that element into the show.
I have no choice. I will find my way.
Adrienne sings original music written by Lebo M. It is in the native tongue Zulu, and Adrienne had to learn the language to perform it.
I learned it's a small portion of the song, Fatsi Lesu Helalela, which means our land is holy. And it's the prayer that Nala and her tribe, her clan, reiterate over and over again, because it's a representation of where she came from, our land. That's what grounds her.
South African music has a special feel and a special rhythm, and Adrienne projects it all.
There's something that she gives me that is power, and I have to match that. And that's a wonderful feeling to have somebody that gives you something you can shoot for. You know, their level is always at a high level, so you always have to keep yours at a high level, and I love that about her.
Okay, a little Lion King trivia. How many 18-wheelers does it take to move Lion King from one city to another? The answer? 23. That's right. Stick around. Coming up, we're going to take a look at the economic impact of Lion King on, say, some local restaurants. Plus, a local physical therapist who knows a New York physical therapist who works on Lion King performers. And more when Lion King, Your Backstage Pass continues.
Only way to get good tickets is come early.
This was the scene back in June when Lion King tickets first went on sale.
That was a very exciting day. We were all here at 4 o'clock in the morning getting set up, and we had people start lining up at midnight. So we had just a line around the building, and everybody very excited about it. And Disney did such a great job of helping us plan all kinds of activities. So there was a lot for people to do that day, so they didn't even mind being in line.
Cynthia Carter-West has worked the local Broadway at the Chrysler scene for years now. People see the show and might want to buy tickets. How do you get tickets now?
Well, tickets are still available, and you can get those at the Scope box office, at any Ticketmaster outlet, Ticketmaster.com, and charge by phone is 671-8100.
We had a chance to ask Cynthia about the economic impact of a Lion King run in Norfolk.
It's a great impact. You know, when we had Phantom here, the restaurants were full every night. People were coming into the hotels, and we're finding the same thing happening now. So the restaurants are all getting ready, and some of them even have special menus for children, because we do know we'll have a lot of children at the shows. We're selling tickets as far away as Canada and California, so we know we have people coming in from out of town. During the holidays in the city, it's a great time to be here in Norfolk, so we know that people will come to a show, get here early so they can get parked, walk around downtown, go to some other events that are going on, so we know that it's going to be really good for the whole area.
Lion King is going to be a fantastic success for the whole city. It'll certainly increase the restaurant business tremendously during that period of time between, the Christmas holidays and New Year or January, when business tended to slow down. Yeah. But Lion King is going to really be a blessing for all of us in the restaurant business.
Baxter Simmons is the owner-operator of Sterling's on Granby Street.
Well, the Downtown Restaurant Coalition, of which I sit on the steering committee board, is trying to work out situations like that. Our particular restaurant, we work with all of the theater groups. We give discounts on the foods to their members, and we want to make sure we have them, just like tonight. We had a lot of symphony people in tonight.
So is Baxter going to see Lion King?
I'm going to surprise my wife and get 2 tickets, and we're going between Christmas and New Year's. That's the time she takes off, and so we'll be right there. Now, it won't be a surprise anymore, but that's all right. She knows she's going.
Now, you may not know it, but physical therapists can play a major role when it comes to actors and actresses in a Broadway show.
The demands that they're under are, in terms of schedules for practice and the productions that they have, really almost nightly. So they get overuse injuries just like the triathletes and the runners that I see locally. And they have very specialized therapists, often who have a dance background themselves on Broadway.
Brian Hoke is president of Atlantic Physical Therapy. The father of 4 has a daughter, Emily, who loves dance. When Brian spoke with colleagues in New York who worked with some of the Lion King performers, he was offered tickets to see the show on Broadway. He made it a father-daughter weekend of a lifetime.
I think we were both a little bit in awe at first. We at the beginning, I think, were not really expecting what took place. You know, there's just an awful lot to take in visually. And we also had some incredible seats, courtesy of a friend, so we were very near the stage, so we got some really nice views of the entire production as it went.
6th grader Emily loved it.
It was like, because all the animals like came down the aisles, and we were like right next to the aisle, so they like were, yeah, definitely cool.
Now, you may not need physical therapy, but you really need to heed some advice here when it comes to going to Lion King.
Don't be late. Make sure you're there for the beginning, and they were right. It was quite spectacular, and truly it enters with quite a flair, and you don't want to say much more than that.
Well, we hope you enjoyed your backstage pass to Lion King. Like I said, truly the hottest ticket and the hottest show in town over the next 6 weeks right here at Chrysler Hall. Good night, everybody. 2 tickets, please.
you